All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to our pseudo Facebook session. Um, and very pleased to see you today, this afternoon on your Saturday. I'm Aisha. I run the Montessori Association in Malaysia. And I will talk laurels a little bit about Jasmine. Jasmine and I are sentimental in getting this international Montessori forum coming back after a long absence because of COVID. And it's no compromise, it's face to face, and we're not having any online features, so we're quite excited about it. So, Jasmine, if you'd like to say a few words about yourself, then what we're going to do is we're just going to go into a few questions for Rose and Natasha to do. Jasmine?
Thank you, Aisha. Hi, I'm Jasmine Love. I am a member of Montessori Association of Malaysia, and I'm glad to be back to my homeland in Malaysia. And I am also the American Montessori Society long-time members for more than 20 years. So I am excited to build community together, not only with Aisha, but the whole global community with all Montessori, because together we want to see more families and children to get the best out of Montessori practices.
Okay, thank you so much, Jasmine. So we'll not hog the mic here. Maybe Rose first, then Natasha. Tell us a little bit about yourself, and don't be modest. We have all the time in the world, but of course, we want to have a nice Saturday afternoon off as well. So take it away, Rose.
Okay, I'm Rosemary Gosse. I'm the director of the Qingdao Baishan Montessori Teacher Education Institute in Qingdao, China. I've lived in China for 16 years now and been a teacher educator that whole time. And I'm a grandmother.
Lovely.
And I've seen my own children go through Montessori and my grandchildren going through Montessori now. And I just want everybody to have the opportunity to experience the benefits that my own children had.
Wonderful. Okay. How about you, Natasha?
I was going to say, I guess that makes it my turn.
Yes.
My name is Natasha McKenzie. I am also a Montessori teacher educator. My Montessori journey began about 25 years ago, which sounds insane to say out loud, but it began in China, and I was a Montessori educator first in Beijing for many years, have since become a teacher educator and work internationally. My home is really Asia, but don't tell my family back in the US. They get a little upset when I say, "Oh, I'm going home," and I happen to cross an ocean to get to Asia. And I also am pleased to be a part of the AMS Instructor Academy. I work as an early childhood facilitator and coordinator for that program. And it's great to be with you guys.
Thank you. I think, Jasmine, you agree with me that we might as well be in the same room. I can feel the aura and energies of, I see, probably totaling 100 years amongst all of us of Montessori.
Ouch!
Natasha say global. We are global citizens. Wherever we are, that's a home.
Yeah.
That is
a
true.
good ouch. It's a good ouch, Natasha. We know hopefully we have impact as we move along. Yes.
Indeed.
Okay. So I know just when you're piping with hot questions to ask either one.
I always have lots of questions, but I have a first question that I want to go to Aisha. What can you tell us about Montessori Association of Malaysia? That it's quite a new name for us, for many of us, but it is not new.
Yes, absolutely. We actually announced the launch of Montessori Association Malaysia in 2007, when a group of us managed to get the late Elizabeth Alcorn from Australia to come and train us as she the master trainer, and we just wanted to do some teacher training. So this is under either MWI Australia or Montessori Australia, I can't recall. It's a while back. So we launched it on the last day of the 10-day TOT in 2007 on 31st of August 2007. So on Maria Montessori's birthday itself, we were actually training. It was a public holiday, but we were actually training. And we decided to launch it then. And of course, you know, paperwork and all that takes a while and this, but it didn't stop us. We managed to gain momentum, gather like minds together, etc. And just be together and support each other and strengthen each other in what we knew, what we'd like to do. Try to keep supporting people and saying, you know, I'm sure you've come across them and say, no, Asia is different. Montessori in Asia is different. And I'm like, no, it's not. So we're trying to keep that, you know, flag waving all the time. And so since then, we managed to do, this will be our 5th forum. In between, we will do webinars, seminars. Of course, during COVID, we did everything online. We managed to invite some people to come and share their experiences and all. And Alhamdulillah, in this side of the world, we like to say, thank God, it helps to serve, to support us and reassure us that 155 years on, and we're still doing the right thing. So that's what we want to do. Despite the struggles and all, we will surely push on. Okay.
Yes. Yeah, we all have struggle here and there, but it's very exciting to when you said about the forum topic this time. It's rooted Montessori. It just made me think of, doesn't matter. Everyone say, oh no, this is the AI here, AI there, and you know what industry. 155 years, like you say, you're rooted in Montessori, and what that is the main topic of this forum for the 5th. After 5 years or more, 2019 till now.
Yes.
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 Okay, to get everybody to get to hug each other for real and not a virtual hug. So this is such a step for the community here. So what is the expectation of you this time for the forum?
Well, you know, I think COVID itself accelerated a lot of things that we were supposed to do anyway, right? We were supposed to, you know, my students were all confused. Why are you asking us to stand 1 meter apart? Why are you asking us to sneeze in our elbow? Why are you asking us to wash our hands? We know that, right? So why are you putting all these signs up? We were like, yeah, we have to follow, you know. So it accelerated a lot of good practices that otherwise people wouldn't normally do. So now coming out of it, some people recoiled from it, of course, and weren't able to talk to each other. So now we're trying to invite them back and say, it's okay, base level is we're all the same. We're all human. And we cannot forget that. In this part of the world, I work in child protection and all that. Oh, for sure, if anything that's got to do with some neglect or crime involving children, for sure there'll be the element of online, cyber, something or other. You know, so rather than giving them a device at 1 year old or 2, I hope that people will, you know, remember to give them a spoon or a book or something else. That's what we have to, Jasmine.
Yes.
Somebody's got to do it.
We all work together.
Yeah.
Not only here in Southeast Asia, but not only in Asia, but globally, North America, everywhere, Europe, Africa, everywhere. The same, having the quite similar challenges.
Yeah.
And when I saw the program this time, it's very exciting because I see there are people from different cultures come and share, you know, and I saw that Natasha gonna have a special workshop on the 29th as well. Natasha, want to give us a little bit of what's gonna be?
Yeah, actually, I'm really excited. And again, thank you guys for having me over. On the 29th specifically, I'm hoping to kind of address this idea of how we elevate our practice, right, for the new global norms that we're all seeing, while also really reflecting on what our practices should be, right? So, the roots and wings idea that we are always going to be rooted in the fundamentals of Montessori, following the tenets of Montessori, while also pushing the envelope when it comes to being innovators in Montessori as well, and sort of striking that balance. So I'm hoping to kind of ask some probing questions and get people talking and collaborating on their own personal practices, and then coming up with ideas for us to innovate and continue to bring Montessori forward to the communities.
And what about the keynote that on the big day 30th?
Whoa.
Yes.
See, now this one.
But I couldn't resist it, Natasha. I looked at it and I thought, oh, this would be very good, because our country, Malaysia, if we're not at least at maintaining the same base level, okay,
Sure.
And if we continue the way we do, and several other countries in Southeast Asia as well, we will just do a very, very slight slope in growth. So I thought I'd just throw it in so we can have a big jump.
Start it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, and I appreciate you for that, actually, because as we were corresponding and there were more and more opportunities to kind of share talents and ideas, I thought to myself when I read it, this is going to be really fun. This is going to be really engaging, because, as we talked about earlier on, we're all global citizens. My background is to travel with Montessori, right? I've worked in many countries, not just in Asia, but in North America as well. And so this idea of access for everyone, regardless of socioeconomic status, I think is really important. Working in public sector, in private, there's a lot of experiences that we can share. And I'm looking forward to talking about what that looks and feels like globally.
Wonderful. Okay, let's give Rose a chance.
Yes,
she worked
please.
so hard to enter the room. Rose.
Well, I'm going to be talking about AI in Montessori. How do we stay true to Montessori's foundational principles, but stay current with what's going on around the world? AI is coming. I mean, it's not just coming, it's here.
Yes.
It's here. And it's going to be incorporated more and more into the schools. But I think that we have to be intentional about how we do it, thoughtful, and maintain some minimum standards of when it's appropriate.
Yes.
So I will be talking about that.
That will be wonderful to address, right, Jasmine? Because it's very abstract, actually.
It is.
Thinking about how things go viral so fast. It's press button, immediate results for everything. Our children get it. And there was this one video that was quite hilarious where this little baby was born, and and the camera angle is his eyes, and he's born. He looks up the doctor and says hello, and grabs the doctor's phone and takes a Wi-Fi with the doctor. This is before cutting the umbilical cord, and suddenly he can walk. He looks at the nurses, and he goes and gets himself a blanket, and he walks off with the phone. And it's not far from the truth, in the sense that when I was running a school, one of my students is probably in university now, but he was very active, and his mom did say, when he was born with his eyes open, and he just looked up.
Without that selfie thing.
Yeah, without the selfie thing. That was a bit much.
Yeah.
So, this abstract part, which, I fear that our young people, or even our corporate policymakers, etc., they will lose touch with. And it's a bit, it's quite a fearful feeling, because next year, 2026 in Malaysia, we've got the next educational blueprint for another 10 years or so. So it's starting 2027, but for preschool is 2026. Very happy that they've put in something to do, I forgot the right word, meaningful development or meaningful education, which is wonderful. But they've also topped up quite a bit in AI, meaning that's a tool, you know. So we'll see how it is. The training is going on for us, but honestly, I when I was running a school, I always wondered, how on earth do people do so many extracurricular, this and that, whatever, because Montessori is so much already. Right? So yeah, getting back to that abstractness part, that one is something that, you know, it would be wonderful to be able to pinpoint it and say, this one, you know, this is what we need to address every single day. And it's the usual what's the normal words that we use, you know, when it's obviously there and everybody ignores it.
Yeah, the fundamental core needs being ignored or being forgotten. We have to bring back the awareness to the community, hopefully to the awareness to the public, to the society at large, to really relook at what we really need, especially in this, we call it the artificial intelligence world right now. What do children really need? Not only the early childhood that stage, but also elementary, and especially right now too, if in Malaysia, I hear every day on the news on our adolescents. Yeah, all these questions. And then when they come to me and say, Jasmine, did you see this news? I say, back to the early childhood stage, that we need to look at what need to be changed. So I think at this time, I'm really excited about the forum because I'm really looking forward to bring the awareness and say, so after COVID, and then now we say, we're not even over with that yet, shock. And now it's a new thing that everything just a touch away. Well, in Malaysia, we still do not have like face pay or only scan your bar pay. You see cash. We still see cash. You don't see cash anymore in China or a credit card.
No, we're getting there.
Children,
they don't know how to use the coins. They don't know they're under change. What does change mean? They don't get it, you know. But sorry to interject.
And the clock. I just taught some lessons in culture, and I brought an analog clock, and 2/3 of the group as adults looked at me like I was crazy.
You know, I don't know how I say this abstractness, you know, when one of my students, and he had finished the entire preschool cultural curriculum. He was very fast and interesting, and he just started making his own journal of things that he'd like to build and stuff. So he built a little paper mache car, and then he wrote about it. And then he said, look, Auntie Aisha, look. And he put a magnet in the, what's the back part? We call it the boot. You call it the trunk.
The trunk.
Yeah. Okay. So he said, look, Auntie Aisha, look. And the magnet was, he was so fascinated by it. And that feeling of attraction and being able to feel it, and you know, it's like sensorial in a way, you know, that feeling of that force that you are able to be involved in. That part, I don't know what you're trying to say just now, Rose, you know, something that's so obvious in the room that everybody knows but ignores. There is some sort of English...
it's called the elephant in the room.
Elephant in the room, that's right.
I remember the elephant thing.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay, Natasha's frozen with laughter.
I'm not sure if I love being frozen in that state, but it was joyful.
Yeah, it's like, you know, honestly, it's like when children don't till today, and they don't comply, for example, right? Don't come in with your muddy shoes, and they do, and parents later on they go to the stage whereby they say, which part of no don't you understand? Okay, to make it so obvious. Right, it's gone one higher now. It's like, oh, sorry, am I relevant? Are you talking to me? You know, so I think that connection and all that, it's a lot of people say it'll come. It's not important right now. We want to get the children independent. What does independent mean? Good grades and being able to get a good job, that's independent, which is close to impossible. It's very difficult. I don't know about in China with their billions of population. Here in Malaysia, we're at 33 million only, I think. And the unemployment rate is high. And but then with AI, with digital, etc., people have been quite innovative, creative, how to make money and survive. Yeah, but then the stamina doesn't last, and the experience, like, oh, I did this. I did this, and they can't talk about it, or they don't take pride in themselves, etc. That's lost. Okay, so this human factor in it, I really do hope that our forum will be able to do such an impact that our policymakers and whoever who will listen to us will take into consideration. We're quite pleased that Parliament has called us for a talk early on this year, so we will be immortalized in our report. They said let's start with a certain group of schools in Montessori. I'm not sure if they are going to follow through, of course, because politicians come and go, but yes, we will definitely persevere. Absolutely.
It's interesting. Montessori, I always say, if you have a question, go back to Montessori, right? Go to her books, look at her writing. And I thought, I'll just check and see what she had to say about technology. And, when she was writing, the 40s, technology was not really the way what we think of as technology. Anyway, she did say something. She said, that if we continue on to educate as we are, how are the children going to benefit from the technology that's being invented now? And so this is another, like, that was going to the industrial, moving from into the industrial age. So now we're moving into the information age. We have to confront that question again. How do we take advantage of the technology in a responsible and intentional way so that children benefit from it and are not damaged by it?
That's right. What do you have to say about that, Natasha?
I agree wholeheartedly. It's finding the line, or I call it the Goldilocks equation, right? This porridge isn't too hot, it's not too cold, it's just right. And I feel that's the same in many instances, but in particular technologies, I read an article somewhere that technologies are changing so rapidly that even if a child didn't have them in their kindergarten or 3 to 6 class, their CASA class, they will be fine, because by the time they get them, they'll have changed from what they had originally worked with, right? So where is the sweet spot for elementary children to have access, or adolescent children to have access that's used as a tool? It's a big question, but as Rose said, go back to Montessori, and therein lies an answer for sure.
Yeah, I think that's that's one but beautiful factor about Montessori. You just go back to it and you look for it, and the answer is there. For me, it's like you were saying just now, Rose, doing things in the right way and lessening any possible harm and everything. I mean, that just obviously roots out from the notion of respect. It's so simple. Is it respectful? And why is it so difficult for people to acknowledge that? Respect is the one and only thing that allows a lot of life, more or less, but people are not, wanting to talk about it and all that. It's I feel that, as I told my children, I will die holding the Montessori flag, probably, because, I wouldn't die doing other things like washing dishes or anything like that. But, somebody's got to do, this is what I'm talking about, this elephant in the room, Rose. I mean, it's so obviously correct and good. And why are people ignoring it? That is something that I find difficult to swallow, but I have to day in and day out. The normality has been the opposite, right? I mean, I don't know, Jasmine, what do you think? You spent 10 years in the US, a quick little number of years or less in China, and then you've come home. How has your experience been for the past 1 year?
Here, coming back, I think it's the society or the the society actually looking for product. But we as the Montessorian or these practices are really focused only on the process, because in this process you will definitely have a product, but without the process, the product can be just blown away by a breeze, not even a storm. So that will be, how are you going to be over the all the information that you already have right now with the chat GPT or DeepSeek? You can never beat them. Okay, so if you don't beat them, how would you beat them? So you have to really be an innovator. To become an innovator, you really need to understand or rooted to know things become things before, and then only you can have after. That's what I see when I see many schools already here in Malaysia, that the Montessori classroom, they are sharing materials. That's fine, but then they are in a single age group. The social part, the not only the Montessori materials. When we talk about Montessori practices, it's a whole child concept. It's a total person that to nurture from inside to outside and back to the inside, where you take it in and you become your property, your intelligent property. Nobody can take it away from you. But I don't see that light in children, because here in many preschool here, I see homework.
Yes.
A lot of, yeah, even my children say, my niece and nephew at home, they're doing homework for, preschool. And my daughter was shocked and said, what are they doing? I thought they're only in preschool. You say China is juan, we call it very juan, meaning that you really work the kids out. I think Malaysia even more, seriously.
Wow.
So, and then I told my husband Elvis and say, what can I do? I wanna do something to show happy childhood, happy life, and that happy life it's till old life.
Yes.
Because you find the meaning of living, you enjoy the whole process of current moments now. So and then I just trying to do as much to contribute back to the community. But that's why I when I look at, tell us about a little bit the whole program, because I see there are many track delegates from different languages.
Yes. Okay. So, of course, in the beginning, we're going to have the workshop on the Friday, and then on the Saturday, we'll start off with Rose's keynote there, which will, it'll be like a big bang because it's in your face straight away. How do you remain truthful to ourselves amidst all that? And then we go to 3 different aspects from 3 different countries. We will have someone from Indonesia, to remind us that, all the indigenous practices, all the cultural traditions, you might have AI or cute little animation here and there, but it's nothing like passing a family heirloom down, going through the motions, the traditions that they do everything together, that binds the family together, etc. So there's someone from Indonesia doing that. And then there's someone else she's actually Filipino, but she's been living in Thailand long enough and has been living in Indonesia long enough. So she's pretty a global citizen. It's Gail. So she will be talking about how to essentially balance social emotional amidst our AI era, that we can't forget about that. I mean, as we know, children who are suddenly asked to take the device away, they can't accept it, right? This is a different generation now, as we do, but we can't have them, running around doing just that. So how to balance it, how to, I'm sure I'm talking to the converted, I'm sure all of you know what to do, but our audiences, they need convincing and all that. And then we'll have, interestingly, 2 gentlemen who just wanted to come in. And I said, okay, you have to make it relevant to Montessori. One is the head of our host, Sagi College. He's Mr. Stephen Yong. He will be talking about AI. He's a specialist, a special area. And then there's somebody else from Hey Schools, not AI, HEI from Finland. Okay, who also says, yes, yeah, who also says that, Hey Schools do a lot of things that's very, very Montessori. I said, okay, so why don't both of you talk to us about how can you Montessori with AI and the Hey concept you're talking about, so that we'll just see how it fits in, so to speak. I mean, talking to, like, I wouldn't want to call us purists, but talking to people like us, we're like, you cannot not have a pink tower in a Montessori school, right? So I think, along those lines, I think that he wants to be able to share his ideas. So he's from Finland. Further down, we will have a networking session whereby school heads will meet together. That I will be running that. Rose and Natasha, you're welcome to join any of the sessions. And then there's a parenting session, which Jasmine will be heading. And interestingly enough, I believe there is an adolescent and young adult session where there are Montessori graduates who are going to facilitate sessions about 45 minutes and discussing amongst themselves, how exactly do we approach and thrive AI? Amidst all of this, they're the digital natives, they're the what do you call it, Y, Z, and now I'm not sure, I've run out of ideas or names of which generations they are. So they'll be talking from 16 till 25. They'll be having a session together. And then in the afternoon, we have another keynote from Natasha with that, interesting, engaging title about, how we can have access across borders. And finally, we will get everybody together, I believe. Oh, no, there is one more session, an inclusive session, whereby we will have one in Chinese completely. So if you don't know Chinese, I'm sorry, but you can just listen, I suppose. One in Bahasa Malaysia, which is the official language. Same sort of topics, how to thrive, teachers thrive in AI, how to keep our children rooted in Montessori with AI. But the third one, interestingly enough, I'm going to be doing that, is going to be about senior care with Montessori and AI. Because they're either very good at it, our senior friends, or they hate it. Okay, so we've been doing some workshops to see how we can approach and help them out there. So I think we have about 9 or 10 different topics. And then we'll slowly come back to the auditorium and have a panel discussion, a lively one, before we end for the day and get on with many other things that we have to do. We've got some dinners and some get-togethers, etc. So I hope have you been to Malaysia before, not Natasha and Rosemary?
This is my first time. I've been everywhere else.
I see.
Oh, that's exciting. The last time I was there was probably 15 years ago. So I'm excited to get back.
Right. Yeah. So hopefully you'll be able to engage in our tantalizing array of foods, etc. But we will be there to warn you, because even sometimes we cannot take the sambals and the curries and all that.
I am ready for Finland.
If you have the mala, this is nothing. You have the Sichuan spices. This is easy.
Is that right? Okay. How interesting.
Yeah, but with all the topics that Aisha, you mentioned, it's about 10 exciting things that people can join. And this is not only for Montessori, but it is also for educators, especially parents too, that can benefit from any of these workshops and talks to take away, to bring it back home. Absolutely.
Yes. Yeah. We hope we will reach out to the people who will just pause, give themselves a break, there's this, and get out of the rat race of being the perfect parent, so to speak, and just consider these questions, these possibilities. So I think we're getting on in time. Perhaps we can
Yes.
have some parting words. Rose, would you like to say a few words before we go off? And see you next week. That's all.
Yes, I'm excited. It's less than a week, and I'll be there. Parting thoughts. Well, I just hope everybody comes out and we have some good discussions. Part of my keynote, I'm going to involve the audience and get their feedback and their thoughts, and we'll try and think together, because as a group, we are always better than individuals. We're stronger and we're more brilliant together. So I hope you come and join us and enjoy the whole 2 days.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Okay. How about you, Natasha?
Yeah, I echo Rose. I'm really excited to be coming down. I'm looking forward to learning more about the Montessori community in Malaysia specifically, and any ways that we can support the Montessori community as well as the greater education community in Southeast Asia. I think this is a wonderful opportunity, as Jasmine mentioned, collaborations with parents and things like that, just to get the voice of Montessori out there, and its importance. So I look forward to seeing all of you in real life and giving those real hugs that Jasmine kicked us off with at the start of our talk. And yeah, and maybe eating a few spicy things along the way.
Yes. Wonderful, wonderful. How about Jess? Do you have any words to say before we say goodbye?
Yeah. Welcome all to Malaysia, the truly Asia place that you must not miss. I'll see you on August 29th and 30th for sure.
Yeah, wonderful. So Rose, Natasha, Jasmine, thank you so much for your time this afternoon, for doing this Facebook Live. How do you call it? Improved version. We're always improving things. And yeah, we will watch our space for our video. And in the meantime, I wish you good rest, a good time with your colleagues and families, and get roaring ready for the travel as well as the experience in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. And if there's anything that you need, and well, of course, don't be afraid to, don't hesitate to reach out to us. And aside from that, looking forward to seeing you then. Thanks so much, Rose. Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks, Jasmine. Take care. Have a good rest for the rest of the day this weekend.
Thanks, you too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.